Hey y'all, namaste. I'm Elise and welcome back to Elise Warrior Flow. Today's flow is going to be all about balance. Let's be real. Finding balance in our lives is incredibly challenging, especially as we're trying to navigate this new normal that we're all in. I can't promise that this flow will solve all your problems or bring your whole life into balance, but I can say that we're going to sweat, we're going to breathe, and we're going to really focus our mind into our balance postures today. Today's flow is considered to be an open level or an intermediate level. It's not really for beginners, but as always, take it easy, do as much as your body can do today, and if you need a break, child's pose is always available, and then rejoin us whenever you are ready. We're gonna flow today for 45 minutes, and a little note about music before we start. So I always put a playlist, or two playlists actually, in the notes below the video. So if you push the little arrow that's to the side of the video, you'll see the description and you'll see our playlist there. We always have a Spotify playlist, and we always have a SoundCloud playlist. The SoundCloud playlists are free, so it'll open on your browser, on your phone or on your laptop, and you can play the music along with us today. It's really nice with music. Music is one of my favorite parts of yoga. So, oh, and one more thing. You might need a prop today. We're gonna do some balancing postures, so you might need a block or a book if you have at home. Try to get a book, maybe with a hard cover, because we might use it like this to help with your balance today. And yeah, so go grab that, and we'll get started in just a few minutes. Let's go, warriors. All right, let's get started. We're gonna start today in an easy child's pose. Keep your block nearby. Come onto your knees, and either have your knees together or separate them a little bit. Might be nicer for your hips. And bring your hands by your hips and lay your forehead on the mat, just like this. Come into a nice child's pose. Really start to arrive on your mat here. Whatever you are doing before this and whatever you need to do after this practice, try to let it go right now. This time is all about you and clearing your mind of everything else. And as you start to become aware of your body on your mat today, start to deepen your breaths. Really take a full inhale and let it all out through your mouth. Keep breathing just like that. If it feels nice, you can just sway side to side here in your child's pose. I like to do that sometimes. And we're going to start by taking a few deep breaths together. Exhale all the air out, really squeeze your belly in. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. So try to really lengthen your breaths to the count. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, and 1. One more time. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. And if you'd like to play music today with us, with one of the playlists, go ahead and start the music now. And then come back to your child's pose. On your next inhale, place your hands on your mat and come up onto all fours. Start to move here in some really nice gentle circles, inhaling as you come forward and exhaling as you sit back. If you have an Ujjayi breath practice, you can start that now. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with Ujjayi, basically what it is you're constricting your airways a little bit to create the sound like ocean waves. Sort of like when you are fogging a mirror. So it's like the sound of, right? But your mouth is closed and you're doing it through your nose. Give it a try if you've never tried it before. It's a way to really control our breaths so that we can move with our breaths a little bit more easily and really stay present in the moment with your breath. Start to circle the other way. Stay with your breath. On your next inhale, come to all fours, come to center. We want a neutral spine here. So we want to tuck our tailbone just slightly. We want to lift our chest just a little bit and try to have as flat of a back as you can. All right? We're going to start our cat-cow movements. So on an inhale, really lift your chest, drop your belly for cow pose. On an exhale, tuck your tailbone, squeeze your belly in, chin to chest, and round to cat. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Now flip your hands so that your fingertips are pointing towards your knees, and we're going to warm up our wrists a little bit here. We're going to do a few more cat-cows just like this. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Inhale cow. And exhale, cat, and squeeze. One more time. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Now sit back on your heels, and we're going to rotate our wrists just like this. Try to keep your forearms together and really just rotate your wrists, wake up your wrists, especially if you work on the computer a lot. This is really good to warm up the wrists. And switch to the other side. Or other direction. Keep breathing. All right, come back to the center. Come back to your tabletop, or shake out your wrists if that feels nice, and then come back to your tabletop. And we're gonna start warming up our shoulders just a little bit. So on an inhale, lift your right arm to the sky and look up, so twist your back. Exhale, thread your right hand underneath your left arm and let your shoulder come down to the mat. Inhale, arm up. Exhale, through. Inhale, arm up. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, up. Exhale, through. One more time. Inhale, up. And exhale, thread it through, and hold here. So you can rest your shoulder and your head on the mat, and if it feels nice, you can take your left hand and walk it towards the front of your mat. Maybe stay on your fingertips, maybe let your palm find the mat, whatever feels nice, and just breathe here. You can close your eyes if you like. This is a really good stretch for your shoulder, get your spine woken up. One more breath. And as you exhale, come back into tabletop. Other side. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, thread it under your right arm. Inhale, up. Exhale, through. Inhale, up. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, up. Exhale, through. One more time. Inhale, up. Exhale through and hold and breathe here. One more inhale. Exhale, come back into your tabletop. Now we're going to stretch out our arms and our legs a little bit. So on an inhale, reach your right arm forward and your left heel back. Exhale, squeeze your knee to your elbow and round your back. Really squeeze your belly. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, stretch, engage your glutes, really activate that back leg. Exhale, squeeze it together. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, squeeze. One more time. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, squeeze. And come back. Other side. Left arm front, right leg back. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze it all together. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, squeeze. One more time. Inhale, stretch. And exhale to squeeze and come back into tabletop. Walk your hands a little bit forward, knees a little bit back, tuck your toes under, and push your tailbone up and back and come into your first downward facing dog. Maybe walk your heels up and down here. Move your hips side to side. Really wake up the backs of your legs and get your spine nice and long and straight. And stay with your breath here. While you're coming into your first downward dog, also be aware of your hands. So your hands should be flat on the mat. Your fingers should be spread really far wide, like this. Not like this, but like this. And you should be pressing all four corners of your hands and each fingertip into the mat. Make sure your shoulders are moving back and down your back. They're not up by your ears. And together, let's hold downward dog. On an inhale, look between your hands, bend your knees, and step your feet, walk your feet up and in between your hands. And forward fold down. Really release your neck here. Maybe say yes, yes, no, no with your head. Maybe grab opposite elbows and swing side to side. Say hello to your hamstrings, to your lower back. Really thank yourself for spending this time today on your mat, for yourself. All right, come back to center. And on an inhale, lift halfway, flat back. Exhale to fold down. Inhale, micro bend in your knees, roll up, come up to standing, lift your arms up and look up at your hands. And exhale, hands to heart center, and let your hands fall down by your side. Tadasana pose. Make sure your feet are hip width apart and your shoulders are really moving back and down. Inhale, lift your arms up, look up. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands on either side of your feet, step back into plank pose. Inhale here, option to lower your knees down or keep them raised. Exhale, bend your elbows, keep your arms close by your body and lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale for Cobra, lift your chest, try not to have any weight in your hands. Exhale, tuck your toes and push back into downward facing dog. Stay here for a few breaths. On your next inhale, look forward, bend your knees, and step or jump your feet between your hands and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, circle your arms to the sky, look up, stand up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, bend your knees, raise your arms up, and come into chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale, chair. Exhale to stay. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper into those quads. On your inhale, lift your heels off the mat and start to slowly lower yourself down to the mat on your exhale and come to sit. Maybe scoot yourself back a little bit, find the center of your mat. And on your inhale, lift your feet off the mat, come into high boat pose. So you might want your shins to be parallel to the mat, or if you have a straight leg boat, feel free to take that now. Inhale here, lift the crown of your head to the sky. Exhale, lower yourself down, really engage your belly, squeeze your abs, come into low boat. Inhale, back up to high boat. Exhale, down. Great job. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. One more time. Inhale, up. Say hello to your abdomen. And exhale, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And lower all the way down, lay down. Raise your arms above your head. Give yourself a nice big stretch. Take the back of your knees and start to rock and roll yourself up. Back and forward, back and forward. And come up into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up to the sky, look up. Exhale, hands at heart center. One more time. Inhale, sit down, bend your knees, lift your arms up, come into chair pose. And exhale, sink a little bit deeper into that chair. Inhale, lift your heels up. And as you exhale, start to sit down on the mat, all the way down. A nice controlled movement. Come into your high boat pose. Inhale here, really lift your chest. Exhale, lower to your low boat. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up. Exhale, lower. Two more times. Inhale, up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up. Exhale, lower. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And lower all the way down to the mat. Give yourself a nice big stretch. Grab the backs of your knees, start to roll up and down, back and forth. And come into your standing forward fold. Inhale, flat back position. Exhale, plant your hands on either side of your feet, step back into plank pose. Inhale and plank. Exhale, option to lower your knees again or keep them raised. And bend your knees and come into your chaturanga. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. And breathe here. On your next inhale, look between your hands, bend your knees and step or jump your feet in between your hands and come to a forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up to the sky, look up. Exhale, hands at heart center. Inhale, lift your arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift halfway. And as you exhale, plant your hands and step or jump back into your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift your right leg to the sky, as far as it'll go. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose and step between your hands. Inhale, come up, raise up your arms, keep your right leg bent, come into high lunge. And exhale, sink a little bit deeper into your high lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, bring your hands behind your back and interlace your fingers. Inhale, stretch your arms and look up, really lift your chest. On an exhale, shift your weight forward into your right leg and try to lift your back leg up and come into warrior three pose. If you have a prop, you can always take your block and balance here into warrior three. Otherwise, keep your hands interlaced and hold. And in warrior three, we really want to make sure that our hips are parallel to the mat. So we don't want this. We want more like this. So if it means you have to lower your leg a little bit, that's great. Stay with your breath here. On your next inhale, really deep inhale. Exhale, release your hands, drop your foot back to the mat and come into your high lunge. Inhale and high lunge. Exhale, plant your hands on either side of your foot and take your vinyasa. We meet in downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift your left leg to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose and place your foot between your hands. Inhale, come up, high lunge. And exhale, sink a little bit deeper in your high lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, interlace your fingers behind your back. Inhale, stretch your arms and look up, really open your chest. Exhale, shift your weight forward, lift your back leg, and come into your warrior three. Again, use your block if you need it. Inhale and deep, deep exhales. Stay here, hold it. Big, deep inhale here. Exhale, drop your back foot, release your hands, lift your arms, and come back into your high lunge. Inhale and high lunge. Exhale, plant your hands and take your vinyasa. Few breaths here in downward dog. On your next inhale, look between your hands, bend your knees, step or jump your feet between your hands and come to a fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up to the sky, look up. Exhale, hands in namaste. Here we go, even farther. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands and step or jump back into your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose and step between your hands. Inhale, come up, high lunge. Exhale, interlace your fingers behind your back. Inhale, stretch your arms, look up. Exhale, shift forward, come into warrior three. One breath here in warrior three. And exhale, release your hands down to your mat. Try to tilt forward or use your block. And try to lift your back leg as far as it will go, coming into your standing split. You can really play with standing split here. You can have your hips open. You can have them closed. You can have flexed foot, you can have pointed foot, really play around with it, maybe micro bend in your front knee. Maybe you have your block here for stability. Play around with it, really find the position that works for you. Let's take an inhale together. Exhale, release your foot down to the mat and come back into your high lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, plant your hands and take your vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift your left leg to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose and step between your hands. Inhale, come up, high lunge. Exhale, interlace your fingers behind your back. Inhale, stretch your arms, look up. Exhale, shift forward and come into your warrior three. One breath here, inhale. Exhale, release your hands down to the floor or to your block and come into your standing split on the other side. Breathe here, play around with it. Let's inhale together. Exhale, let your right foot find the mat. Come back into high lunge. Inhale. Exhale, place your hands and take your vinyasa. Few breaths here in down dog. Really let it all go. Make sure your neck is nice and released, relaxed. On your next inhale, look between your hands, bend your knees, and step or jump your feet between your hands and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up to the sky, look up. Exhale, hands at heart center. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, bend your knees, and step or jump into your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose and step between your hands. Inhale, come up, high lunge. Exhale, interlace your fingers behind your back. You know where we're going. Inhale, straighten your arms and look up. Exhale, shift your weight forward, come into your warrior three. Inhale here. Exhale, release your hands down to the mat, come into your standing split. Inhale, standing split. Exhale, find the mat with your back foot and come back into your high lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, drop your back heel, spin open and come into your warrior two pose. Inhale in warrior two. And exhale, sink a little bit deeper into that front knee. On your next inhale, straighten your front leg, turn your right foot 90 degrees so that your feet are parallel, and place your hands on your hips. Inhale, lift your chest to the sky, look up. Exhale, forward fold and release your hands down to the mat. Inhale, lift halfway, flat back, and exhale to fold. You can play around with this pose here. Maybe you want to grab your big toes and pull yourself a little bit deeper into the pose. Maybe you want to just rest your hands on the mat in front of your face. Maybe you want to reach between your legs for a deeper stretch. Or maybe if you have a tripod headstand in your practice, go ahead and take that now. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Breathe on your own rhythm. If you're in tripod headstand, come back to the earth. And let's all take one inhale together. Come up to a flat back, inhale. And exhale, walk your hands to the front of your mat, turn your right foot, turn your back heel up, and your hands are on the inside of your right foot, and your knee is outside of your shoulder. This is called lizard pose. So you might want to lower your back knee here. You can stay here in lizard, or you can lower your back knee. And you might want to take your right hand, and press gently on the right knee, on the inside of the right knee, to sort of open up your hip a little bit here. Another option, if this feels okay, is you can sweep your right arm up and back, lift your back foot, and grab a hold of your foot for twisted lizard. Wherever you are, stay here and breathe and smile. On your next inhale, release your foot or your knee, plant your hand, and come back into lizard pose. Inhale, lizard, and exhale, step back into plank, and take your vinyasa. On your next inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose, and step between your hands. Inhale, come up, high lunge. Exhale, interlace your fingers behind your back. Inhale, stretch your arms, look up. Exhale, shift your weight forward, come into warrior three. Inhale, warrior three. Exhale, release your hands down to the mat, tip forward and come into your standing split. Inhale, standing split. Exhale, drop your back foot down, find the mat, come into your high lunge. Inhale and high lunge. Exhale, open up into your warrior two. Inhale, warrior two. And exhale, sink a little bit deeper into that front leg. Inhale, straighten your front leg, turn your left foot 90 degrees, and bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, lift your chest, look up. Exhale, forward fold down. Release your hands to the mat. Inhale, lift halfway, flat back. And exhale to fold. Hello. And stay here. Try to do the same variation you did on the other side. So if you grabbed your big toes, if you reach between your legs, or if you found your tripod headstand, go ahead and take that now. Now, if you're taking tripod headstand, or if you're playing with it and you've maybe not tried it too much, you never ever want to jump into a headstand. You always want to make sure that your hands are shoulder width apart, your elbows are at a 90-degree angle, and you're breathing. If you're in tripod headstand, gently come back down to the earth. And everybody, inhale, lift halfway, flat back. Exhale, walk your hands to the front of your mat, turn your feet, and come into lizard pose on the other side. Maybe drop your back knee, maybe take your left hand and gently press on your left knee to open your hips, or maybe sweep your arm up and back and find your back foot. And breathe. On your next inhale, release your foot, bring your hand back down to the mat, tuck your toes, and step back into plank and take your vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog, or take a moment to come into child's pose. You can sway back and forth. Maybe take a deep inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Really let it all go. Stay with your breath. Now, wherever you are, child's pose or downward facing dog, look forward And step your feet in between your hands and come to the top of your mat to a forward fold. We're going to take a few breaths here. So if you'd like to grab opposite elbows, sway side to side. If you'd like to grab your big toes and pull yourself into a deeper stretch, maybe grab the backs of your calf muscles. Whatever feels nice here. Just really breathe and take it easy. On inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, bend your knees and come to sit on your mat. Inhale here, and as you exhale, go ahead and lay down on your mat, keeping your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. We're going to do a couple of back bends. So we'll first start with bridge. So try to walk your feet closer to your sit bones, to where your fingertips can touch your heels. Make sure your palms are down flat on your mat. And on your inhale, tuck your tailbone, start to lift your hips up, really press your feet into the mat. Make sure your knees aren't splaying out wide, they're hip distance apart. And come up into your bridge pose. Stay here, or you can interlace your fingers behind your back and walk your shoulder blades together. Really press up and let this be a nice stretch in your back and engage your glute muscles here. Take one inhalation. Lift your heels, release your hands as you exhale, and slowly lower down back to the mat. Maybe walk your feet out to the edge of your mat and let your knees fall in, or try to windshield wiper your knees. This can feel really nice for your lower back. And let's do one more bridge. Walk your feet back towards your sit bones. Prepare your hands. And as you inhale, lift up your hips. Squeeze your glutes. Press your feet into the mat. And try to interlace your fingers behind your back. Walk your shoulders together. And breathe here. Take one more inhale, lift your heels off the mat, release your hands, and as you exhale, slowly lower back down to the mat. Windshield wipe your knees. All right, we're gonna do one more back bend, and it's gonna be a back bend of your choice. So if you have a wheel in your practice, go ahead and take that, or continue to do one more bridge just like we did, all right? I'm going to do the wheel pose. So if you're with me, it's the same setup as the bridge. So walk your feet close to your sit bones. Take your hands, flip your palms over right by your ears. Keep your elbows in tight. And on your inhale, press down on through your hands and through your feet, and lift your body up until it looks like a little rainbow. You want to, again, keep your knees together. You don't want them to splay out wide. Inhale, and exhale naturally. You may not be able to take very deep breaths here. And when you're ready, slowly lower yourself down vertebra by vertebra, gently, and come back to your mat. Take your feet out mat distance and windshield wipe your knees and let your knees fall into each other, and just rest for a moment with a neutral spine. On your next inhale, bring your knees into your chest and open your knees wide so that they are kind of pointing towards your armpits. Now stay here if this feels good, or you can grab your feet from the outside, keeping your elbows on the inside of your knee, And press your knees towards your shoulders for happy baby pose. You can stay here, or you can grab your big toes and try to stretch your legs for a nice hamstring stretch. Feel free to stay still, or you can rock your baby a little bit. Close your eyes. Really feel your body and the great work you've done here today. As you inhale, bring your knees back to your chest. And as you exhale, let your knees fall to the left side, opening your arms wide. Turn your head to the right for a nice spinal twist. You can keep your eyes closed here and let your breath find its normal, natural pattern. Really try to relax. Make sure your right shoulder is touching the mat. If it's too much of a twist, you can always place a block under your knees. On your next inhale, bring your knees into your chest, and exhale, twist to the other side. Next inhale, come back to center. Bring your knees into your chest. Hug your knees in. Lift your head. Give yourself a nice big hug. And release into your Shavasana. So bring your feet mat distance apart. Really take up space on your mat. Let your hands fall open, palms facing towards the sky. And close your eyes. Let everything go. Relax your jaw. Relax your belly. Relax your fingers, relax your toes. Really just sink into the mat. Eyes closed. And rest. next inhale, start to come back into your body. Move your toes, move your fingers. Rock your head side to side, keeping your eyes closed. Bring your knees into your chest. And let your body fall over to one side. Try to keep your eyes closed. When you're ready, make your way up to a seated position, comfortable seated position. Eyes closed. Place your hands on your knees or at your heart center. Thank yourself for this practice today, for taking time to be with only you. Celebrate everything that your body did today and everything that it did not do. If we are kind to ourselves and we are patient with our bodies every day, we can find the balance that we seek. Namaste.